Venezuela opposition leader Maria Corina Machado comes to the White House bearing gifts, presenting President Trump with her Nobel Peace Prize she recently won. The president accepting the gift, thanking her for it in a social media post. Here's what he said. It was my great honor to meet Maria Corina Machado of Venezuela today. She is a wonderful woman who has been through so much. Maria presented me with her Nobel Peace Prize for the work I have done. Such a wonderful gesture of mutual respect. Thank you, Maria. Machado reportedly saying she gave Trump the medal because he deserves it and offered it on the behalf of the people of Venezuela. Leo Soto is joining us, a Venezuelan-American immigrant. He left Venezuela at the age of 10 to escape the violence, and his family has been hoping for freedom in Venezuela ever since. Thank you for coming on. Connor Pfeiffer is here, Senior Director of Government Relations for the Foundation of Defense of Democracies. Leo, I'll start with you. The reaction, if I can, because I want to know your story a little more for our viewers. But seeing Machado present the president with her Nobel Peace Prize, what does that say about her and other Venezuelans alike? That's quite the gesture.
Yeah, it's something really beautiful to see, that kind of validation, to see our leader that's fought so hard for our freedom, to be able to be in the White House and have Trump have a moment with them and, be able to present the Nobel Peace Prize, which is such a great personal honor. But the fact that she chose to give it to him to show his appreciation means everything. And at a time when we have Democrats that are giving so much pushback to the actions of Trump, I think we all need to stand together and row in the same direction. That's why I started a petition on change.org/Venezuela Freedom, so that people can start to push Democrats in order to be able to make sure they're on the right side of history on the subject.
It is interesting, Connor, I'll bring you into the conversation in terms of who's running Venezuela at this time. Obviously, the opposition leader would be Maria Corina Machado, who's meeting with President Trump at the White House. But then running parallel to that is CIA Director John Ratcliffe, reportedly meeting with Delcy Rodriguez in Caracas. This is yesterday, as the New York Times was reporting, reinforcing the Trump administration's message that it does see right now the interim government as what they're calling the best path to stability in the country in the short term. Again, this from the New York Times. Is that the case, Connor? And how necessary is it to be working with the former vice president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez?
Well, Sean, it's great to be with you. As Secretary Rubio has laid out, this is going to be a long three-phase transition: stabilize, recover, and then transition. Obviously, the administration could not snap their fingers after capturing Maduro and put Machado and Emilio Gonzalez in power in Caracas. But we do need to have a clear path to a democratic transition, because the outcomes that the administration wants in Venezuela, a country that's pro-American, kicks out U.S. adversaries, and can have more U.S. investment in oil and other sectors, is going to require the kind of commitments only a democratically elected government long-term can provide.
And Leo, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, obviously there is a lot that has happened in just the past few weeks here of the capture of Nicolas Maduro, bringing him here on American soil, and then now seeing this. It's not really a change in regime. She was his vice president, she being Delcy Rodriguez. What is your take on that and your family's take on that, understanding what many Venezuelans have faced or are facing?
Yeah, I know. I think the vast majority of Venezuelans wish they could snap their fingers and get rid of this brutal dictatorship that has taken over our country. But we're also realists in the fact that it's not going to be an easy process. And we're starting to see some of the steps moving in the right direction. We have over 100 political prisoners that have been freed in the last couple of days. And it's something that's gaining momentum more and more. So as long as we see those steps towards freedom and towards liberty, I think we are so thankful to the Trump administration, because we are much closer than we were a week ago to gaining our freedom.
And it was President Trump, which we're awaiting, by the way, this roundtable happening at the bottom of your screen. So if that happens, I apologize. I'll have to go to that. But President Trump did say this about the interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, whom he spoke with, saying, this morning I had a very good call with the interim president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez. We are making tremendous progress as we help Venezuela stabilize and recover. Many topics were discussed, including oil, minerals, trade, and, of course, national security. The partnership between the United States of America and Venezuela will be a spectacular one for all. Venezuela will soon be great and prosperous again, perhaps more so than ever before. So as I mentioned, Rodriguez, who served as Nicolas Maduro's vice president since 2018, says her country is entering a new era. Connor, what are some of the challenges that Delcy Rodriguez is facing in her own country?
Well, Sean, Delcy Rodriguez faces one, she's a committed Chavista, and the regime that was around Nicolas Maduro is mostly still in place, including the security forces who are responsible for imprisoning those political prisoners that Leo mentioned. And so Rodriguez is going to have to balance between meeting the reasonable demands of the Trump administration to move the country in a better direction, as the president laid out, and potential pushback from within the government of committed regime henchmen and other people who want things to stay the same or go back to the way they were under Maduro and Chavez. And so that's why continued U.S. leverage through the oil exports as well as through military forces deployed off the Venezuelan coast is critical to ensure that things do keep moving in a positive direction through this transition.
And Leo, we've seen protesters supporting Nicolas Maduro, asking for the release of Nicolas Maduro. This is where I believe you can bring your own personal experience in, and what you would relay to those folks that are out there with the posters and calling for the release of Nicolas Maduro, hands off Venezuela. What is your message?
My message is they have no idea what we've been through. They have no idea what it is to have citizens that can't afford to eat, and so they have to kill dogs in the street to be able to feed themselves. They have no idea what it is to be in prison for your own beliefs. They have no idea all the pain and all the suffering. My whole family had to flee the country that we love. Venezuela is a beautiful, spectacular place with all the potential in the world, yet it was taken over by people that only care about themselves and corruption and enriching their own families. And so I tell them, please do the research, take a look, listen to the people that are telling you what we've witnessed. Don't do these false equivalencies of trying to compare things that you don't know anything about with our suffering. That's all I can say, because if they actually do the research, I understand that they will come out on the right side of history.
Well said. We'll leave it there, Leo. Leo Soto joining us, Connor Pfeiffer joining us. Gentlemen, thank you both. I appreciate that.